Hello, how are you today? Good? You look little tired? No, no problem. All right. 2, 3 lectures at a time is little demanding, I understand that. But well, the master's course demands such hard work. Today we will go further than what we have done in Karanas. The Sarangapani temple is situated in Kumbhakonam in the Tanjavur district in Tamil Nadu. This is one among the 108 Divya Desham, that is the important shrines of Vishnu. Many saints and alvars have sung songs in praise of this deity. This temple is situated on the banks of river Kaveri. Hence, it is one of the Pancharanga Kshetrams, the 5 important shrines of Vishnu on the banks of Kaveri. Initially, the temple was built by the Pallava. This temple was developed magnificently by the medieval Cholas. Later, the Vijayanagar king and Madurai Nayakas have renovated and contributed towards this temple. As you know, we have many legends towards so many things in India. And so, the very interesting legend for this temple is that the Sarangapani is a Vaishnava deity considered the incarnation of Vishnu. Jagdish Iyer in his book South Indian Shrines describes about the origination of the incarnation of Vishnu as Sarangapani. In this avatar, he was named as Sarangapani, which means in Tamil as a person holding a bow in his hand. The Sthala Purana and the legendary story reveals that Vishnu came to this earth to bless the mortals. The sage Hema Rishi, an ardent devotee of Vishnu, performed penance to obtain goddess Lakshmi to be his daughter. He sat in front of the sacred tank called Porthamarai Kulam in Kumbhakonam. Lord Vishnu was pleased by his prayers and granted the boon to the rishis. Goddess Lakshmi emerged from the Porthamarai pond among 1,000 lotuses, and the rishi was happy to have a daughter. He named her Komala Valli. Since Lakshmi was already born on earth, Lord Vishnu must follow her. From his abode in Vaikuntham, Lord Vishnu descended to the earth in a chariot drawn by majestic horses and elephants. In this avatar, he was named Sarangapani. He stayed in the nearby Shiva temple called Someshwara temple. Gradually, love loomed between Sarangapani and Komalavalli, and eventually they got married. Another popular legend is a staunch Brahmin devotee of the Lord spent all his life in the service of the deity. At the end of his life, he felt his loneliness and prayed that his last rites, karma, should be performed by the deity. Aravamudan, name of the festival deity, descended himself to perform the last rites to the devotee on the Deepavali day. This ritual is continued till date, and the priests perform the death ritual annually in the temple. This is very rare and one of its kind performed in a Vishnu temple. It is believed that Lord Sarangapani was instrumental in compiling the Nalayira Divya Prabandham. A Vaishnavite saint named Nadamuni during his prayers heard some divine verses in praise of the Lord by few devotees in the temple. He was exhilarated and asked them to sing the remaining verses. the devotees did not know the remaining 1,000 verses. Lord Sarangapani appeared in the dream of Nadamuni and asked him to visit Alvar Thirunagari Vishnu shrine in Tuticorin district to learn the other verses. Here Nadamuni gets blessings and learns the rest of the verses from Saint Namalvar. He compiles the verses and the hymns sung by the 12 Vaishnava saints Alvars, and this came to be known as Nalayira Divya Prabandham with 4,000 holy verses. The tradition of singing the Divya Prabandham in Vishnu temple continues even today. The main deity in this temple is a half reclining pose. Here again is a tale to justify the position of the deity. Saint Tirusmil Alvar in his Mangalaswaram hymns asked Lord whether he was resting with a leg pain due to his long walks in the woods during the Rama avatar. The Lord tries to get up to grace the Alvar. Alvar requests him to bless him from the half-waking position. This position of the reclining Perumal is very unique feature of this temple. Sarangapani temple is situated in the Kumbhakonam in Tanjore district in Tamil Nadu. This temple is situated between two rivers Arisalaru and Kaveri. The temple is enshrined with a huge granite wall with many small shrines. The temple is built in the Dravidian architectural style. The Raja Gopuram, the main tower, is 173 feet high and has 11 towers. This is one of the tallest Gopurams in Kumbhakonam. There are 5 more small Gopurams around the temple. The temple faces the east direction. The sanctum is shaped and constructed like a chariot, and this style of architecture in a temple is called the Ratha temple. The chariot is drawn by beautiful sculpted elephants and horses. There are openings from either side of the Ratha picturizing the descent of Lord Sarangapani to the chariot. The sanctum faces the east direction. There are 2 steps entrances to the sanctum called Uttarayana Vasal and Dakshinarayana Vasal. These 2 entrances are open for 6 months in turn according to the direction of the sun. The Potmalai temple tank is situated opposite the western entrance of the temple. The Potmalai tank has hall in the center called Hamarishi Mantapam. The main deity Sarangapani is in a lying position resting his head on his hand, also called Palikonda Perumal. The reclined posture of the deity is unique and is known as Udhana Sayana. The Vimana on the top of the deity is called Vaidika Vimana. There are sculptures around the sanctum sanctorium depicting the story of Narasimha Avatara of Lord Vishnu. The temple has 2 beautifully carved wooden chariots for the annual procession. The chariots weigh 300 tons each. This was renovated in the year 207. The chariots are taken on procession twice a week. Once during Brahmotsavam, that is in April-May, and another during Ratha Saptami, January-February. During this festival, the chariots are pulled by the thousands of devotees across the streets around the temple. The festival idols of Sarangapani and Komalavalli are to be brought to the Therumutti corner of the street where the chariot is stationed after elaborate religious rituals conducted in the temple to the idols. The festival deity is called Aramamudan. This car festival was praised by Thirumangai Alvar as Ratha Bandhanam. The temple follows the Pancharatna Agama and the Vadakalai tradition. The temple priest is Vaishnavite Brahmin. He performs daily pujas and the annual puja to the deity. The daily rituals are performed 6 times a day. Each ritual comprises of 3 steps, that is Alankar Rama, decorative, then Nivedanam, that is offering of the food, and Deepa Aradhanai, waving of the lamps. Both Sarangapani and Komalavalli Thayar. There are weekly, fortnightly, and yearly festivals. All these rituals are concluded with Vedic chants by the priest and music by Nadaswaram and Tolgavi. The annual report on South Indian epigraphy recorded 3 inscriptions on the temple. The inscription number 294 is attributed to Kulatonga Chola III. On the outer prakara on the base of the mandap, there is an inscription 293 attributed to Sadashivadev Maharaya of Vijayanagar dynasty. He came in 1482 AD. Another inscription on the base of a hall connected to the Sarangapani Mutt reads about the contribution of Raghunath Nayak of Tanjore. The inscription on the mandapa of the central shrine recounts the endowments of the Krishna Dev Rai towards the worship of the deity Sarangapani. From these inscriptions, it is evident that the mandapa is the central shrine and it came into existence prior to early 12th century or 1385. An inscription engraved in the mandapa of the southern prakara dates 1178 AD and belongs to the nearby Somanath temple built by Kulatonga Chola. Apart from these slabs also, the dance sculptures have been incorporated in the gopuram of the temple. The dance sculptures are the kinetic expression of dance mode codified in the dance text NATYASHASTRA, and they are called Karanas. On the basis of these inscriptions and architectural evidences, the archaeologists opine that the Vaishnava shrine is attributed to the 14th century AD. There are 96 dance figures carved on the outer walls of the Gopuram. The Department of Archaeology confirmed that the dance Karanas do not originally belong to this temple. The dance sculptures belonged either to the Somanath temple, that is 12th-13th century AD, or the Shiva temple of Chola Martanda Chaturvedi Mangalam Brahmadeya in Manninadu. The stylistic features of these dance sculptures have little in common with the other bold reliefs on the Gopuram. The dance Karanas are inserted with their names. They are arranged in horizontal manner as in the Brihadeshwara temple in Tanjore. They are larger than the Chidambaram Karanas and smaller than the dance Karanas in the Brihadeshwara temple. The inscription under each relief shows that they are independent slabs. Taking the chronology into consideration, the dance Karana belongs to the later part of the 12th century. This was probably built by the Brihadeshwara temple and implemented the dance Karanas on the Gopuram. The extensive work of scholars to fix the date and connection to the different Karana panels in Sarangapani temple has benefited the dancers in the study of Karanas. These panels were debated as to whether the Karana sculpture was sculpted by understanding the technicalities of NATYASHASTRA by the sculptors, or were they blindly followed the mere movements by the dancers or the models. The three figures opening behind the relief confirm that the Karanas belong to Shiva temple and not Vaishnava temple shrine. In one figure, the inscription reads that it is Tandava or Kali, and the other inscription reads as Tandava of Shiva. The third figure shows Shiva in Urdhva Tandav, although the inscription reads as Shuddha, possibly the corrupted form of Suchi, that is the name of a Karana. Many research scholars have arrived to a conclusion that the reliefs in Sarangapani temple depicting Karanas are from a Shiva temple and dates back to the later part of 12th century. The dance reliefs on the Gopuram does not appear in any sequential order that coordinates with NATYASHASTRA or other dance texts. Some inscriptions have obliterated. In some other reliefs, the number of inscriptions are not clear. In few, there is a number and an inscription. There are few reliefs, 10 of them, which do not fall into the category of Karanas. They can be identified as Thanacharis, etc. According to the cadence of the movements of Karana, Kapilavatsyan divided the Karana available in Sarangapani temple into the following categories: Sama Karanas, Hasta Karanas, Swastika Karanas, Rechita Karanas, Vrishchika Karanas, Sthana Karanas, Chari Karanas, Kati Karanas, Pada Karanas and Uru Pashva. So these are 10. These are grouped in terms of predominant aspect of the stance, movement and such. The Karanas are self-contained units with an initial position of an intermediate path of movement and final stance. In some, there is a continuity with the preceding movement and which follows the other. The regroupings of Karanas makes it clear to understand that 50% of the reliefs and inscriptions related to them are correct and correct with the text of Natyashastra. It also reveals the sculpture's observation of the kinetic vocabulary and their revelation of the art with understanding. The unfinished Karana reliefs in Brihadeshwara temple is replaced by great precision in Sarangapani temple. Kumbheshwara temple and added to the sculptures in this temple. According to this, altogether there are 98 Karana reliefs in this temple. Many alvars have sung in the praise of this deity. Thondar di Podi Alvar, Poigai Alvar, Madura Kavi Alvar, Kulasekhara Alvar, and Periyaval and Shiandal have all sung hymns in the praise of the deity, and hence the shrine is referred as Padal Petra Sthalam. Vishnu is always portrayed with a conch and a disc, but in this temple, the presiding deity is portrayed as having a bow which is invisible. In most of the Divya Desham temples, the presiding deity is given the prominence in the rituals. But in Sarangapani temple, both presiding and procession deity, Utsava Murti, is given prominence in the ritual. Hence, it is called Upaya Pradana Divya Desham with due respect to the Utsava Murti. As Kumbhakonam is the place of many secret rivers, it is believed that the devatas of the rivers come and worship Lord Sarangapani. Since the birth of places of Goddess Lakshmi, the pujas are first offered to the goddess and then to Sarangapani. The temple shrines are constructed in such a way that devotees first come to the shrine of Komalavalli Thayar and then proceed to the Perumal shrine. The first ritual early in the morning is the Go Puja, that is the cow worship, which is performed in front of the Thayar Sanadhi, that is the shrine. The South Indian temples are the repository of art, architecture, religion, philosophy and social interaction. Sarangapani temple in Kumbhakonam is one such temple which represents the South Indian civilization over the centuries. What an interesting history and what an interesting use of technology where the slabs of Karanas may be put from one temple to another. Amazing.